set input item to null and pass in the furnace data. And then we need to grant the output items, so that should be another function of its own. Add output items. So it's going to be furnace data, but then there should also be that's maybe okay. So the worry here was if we have already cleared out what the input item is, then we're not going to know what to add to the output. So we just need to do this in the right order. So input item has enough progress, so we take away one quantity, add output items for the furnace data, and then afterwards we'll check if we need to get rid of the items in the input. So that's the order there. So we're going to get the recipe again. We're going to split it. So that gives us output items equals furnace recipe split 0. But then we also need to split this. So this is going to get a bit gross looking. And then for each of those output items, output item is equal to we need to match the regular expression to the output item. So right now we're working with something like that. We're going to use the match to effectively this turns into equals that, and match 1 will equal 3. So this gives us the data class and the ID. Data class item ID. So yeah, this is annoying because this is code that I think I'm going to use on a lot of different plugins. Getting the item from data class and ID. I wonder if there's something like that already built in. Probably data manager if anywhere. This is all save stuff. So oh, here we go. Here we go. I guess not. I guess it doesn't really need something like that. So we will just say if data class equals item. I know what I'll do. I'll just match up with what I've put in here. So there's no need for me to put item here if I just pass in I or a lowercase I. Can I just do uppercase? I should probably use a regular expression here as well to say if it's capital or lowercase. Maybe it's just easier doing this though. I don't know if that would take up less computation than just comparing two regular expressions or what. Is that how we do this again? I can't really remember. Let's check. Data items. Huh. Alright, so yeah, data items and then just pass an ID like that. So that's cool. If data class equals A or A, return data armors, ID. So yeah, this feels like bad code. I should probably just do the regular expression one, but I'm not entirely certain how to compare the two. So if I have either A or A, compare it to, if I wanted to compare it to A and have either return true, maybe I just do 2 equals instead of 3 equals for the strict. For this, or would suffice. Oh yeah, with case conversion. So if I just do the upper to lowercase. All right, let's just do it like that then. If data class dot to lowercase, yep, definitely a bit tighter, um, better to read. So let's see. So we have match, which is a letter and a number. So let's get item equals furnace data dot get item from data class and ID, and we'll pass in match 0 and match 1. So now we have an item. And it's just occurred to me that it would be nice if we can have a quantity here as well. So let's just keep adding stuff. A dash? Is this just really not looking good now or what? I should probably format this better. Furnace recipe cost, put that there. Furnace recipe item maybe? Maybe we just go super verbose. So we can technically say if any of these exist. Yeah, if any of these exist, then show it in the menu. But it might be nice to just say check if that exists and add it to the menu. And then you have the cost separated, and then you have each item displayed here. Now, how does this look in the meta? If we look for furnace recipe item, will this be smart enough to put it into an array for us, or will we have to do that ourselves? Because I do think this is much better than just adding in all kinds of weird stuff here. And then we can do a comma and say we want one of those, we want two of those, and just one of those as well. Okay, let's get rid of that. Probably don't need that. We can be smart about this. We'll just look for furnace recipe cost. Let's copy that. No, hold on. I2, and it takes 2. So we'll just say there's I2, and we'll get 1. It takes 2, we'll get rid of this. What just happened? I should just return that as well. What I was thinking was, let's just make some more items, and we'll see if we can get it working the way we want. So let's have some kind of iron product. And we'll have silver as well. I don't know, that can be silver. Okay, iron, silver. And then let's have a weapon. Silver sword, and then we're going to add some things that it can give us back. So it takes 5 ticks, and what you get out of it is 1, 8, and 1, 9. So let's add a silver sword here as well. Let's Let's make it a couple so we can see if it works the way we want it to. Right, so all the code's broken again. Let's get .meta. Okay, furnace recipe cost. So if there's a furnace recipe cost, it is an input item. Fuel's still the same. So here we go. Is the item ready? We just grab the furnace recipe cost. We don't need to split it anymore. We'll just go furnace recipe cost equals that. And we do want this to be a number. Furnace recipe cost is not a thing. We will validate it and just say console.error. Furnace recipe cost is not a number. And then we'll just overwrite it with something insanely large, which again, maybe not the best way of handling it, but if we do 0, I worry that it just burns through items and does a lot of stuff that it doesn't really need to do. Also don't want it to be too big in case that also breaks JavaScript. Right, so that's maybe the cost, fine. What about this? I wanna console log whatever this is. Furnace recipe. You know what? No, let's get the meta. I want to see what the meta is. Right, does the game work? Does something else need fixed? So we're in here, put in a couple of pieces of coal. We'll put in a uncooked meat, see what happens. Required progress is not defined. That's in. Oh yeah, it's just furnace recipe cost. So let's get some coal in there, bit of meat. What am I expecting it to do here? Uh, yeah, what was I even trying to do? Let's see. Add output items. Have I just forgotten to put that in? No, it should be doing it. Let's see. Adding output items. Furnace recipe cost 3. Furnace recipe cost should equals furnace recipe cost. Um, oh yeah, furnace data input item progress. So there's progress. Cost is going to be furnace recipe cost. Uh, Not a number, not a number. Progress is not a number. Input item. Furnace data input item dot progress is not a number. Huh. Let's just spit out this here. And then again right after. Undefined, not a number. Um, yeah, my logs are going to be getting kind of hectic with all the logs I'm doing. Let's see. Input item progress is not a number already. Is it always not a number? Huh. Progress should be 0. So when does that happen? Why are we getting Don't need all the furnaces anymore. So when we go in here, progress is 0. When does it change? Progress is still 0. Okay, so we go fuel, we add in some coal. Then what happens? Progress is still 0. We add something, then what happens? Input. Suddenly it becomes not a number. Where are we adding an item? Add item to furnace. Oh, I'm not doing that. Did I just completely forget? Oh no. I took the code out of here and I must have forgotten to actually add it at the bottom. Add item to fuel. Oh, here it is. I just don't have progress in here. But I do want to make these both I do want to make both of these part of the furnace data class instead, or object. So add item to fuel. Add item to fuel. Function item. And we also want to pass in the furnace data. Get data class from item. So that's going to have to be ripped as well. Get data class from item. So instead of it being this, it'll be function furnace data, get data class from item. Okay, so it'll be add item to input. Oh no, to fuel. There we go. This add item to fuel is going to be furnace data, add item to fuel. And then one more to change, add item to input. Let's just give it a test again, see if it's completely destroyed and broken. Oh, add item to fuel. Oh yeah, oh yeah. we've not added the function or the furnace data. And then I also need to do add item to input. And instead of being this, it's going to be furnace data and item. Wow. So what is this? Oh, that was cool. It did get rid of the cooked meat as well because we created some output. It's not in there yet, obviously. So this is what we got out. This is the metadata. So what if we put in the silver sword now and see what the meta is here? Right, so this thing here. Furnace recipe item. Looks like it's overwritten, so it doesn't handle multiple tags of the same name. Um, yeah, I understand why it would be. Okay, so we need to write our own note tag reader. I definitely do not want it to be in here. That's not good. I can maybe just rip this though. Seems like it would work. Well, let's see what happens with this. Catch a lot of variations of where the important parts are name of the tag, the data class, Oh, it might be a good idea to only catch those, yeah. So that's the number, and then it's getting this little thing, the comma, and then any number afterwards. And the case sensitive, insensitive flag, that looks good. Is this even used now? Um, right, matches is going to be item dot no dot match. This is going to be furnace data dot. Oh, so this was grabbing all of them. So if I'm running it through this, console log matches. Alright, so parse multiple node tags. Let's see, where would we run that?